Does not matter who you are, Muslim or non-Muslim, Allah, God, doesn't give you what you say. Allah gives you who you are. And that's why Allah says in the Quran, indeed, He knows what's within the heart. What's within the heart is way more important than what you say with your tongue. So it's not about what your tongue says. It's not about what your hands raise. It's about what your heart whispers when nobody's watching. So maybe, just maybe, that's why the thing that you're making dua for, the thing that you're asking God to give you, that's why it hasn't come yet. So you think it's because Allah's saying no, but in reality, it's your own state of being. And the words that you're saying, they're two different things. They're not really aligning right here. So you're asking Allah for light, but you keep holding on to your shadows. You recite Allah's names, those beautiful 99 names, but deep down, you doubt if Allah truly sees you. And that's why Shams Tabrizi, he comes and he says, he's like, you've been running from truth, and truth has been running after you. That's why you've stumbled upon this video right here. You think it's like this is all just here by luck? Well, I was just scrolling and then all of a sudden I found this video. Nah, man, this is because your soul is tired of asking from a place that it no longer lives in. And now Allah is asking you to become the answer. Understand, in order for you to achieve the things that you want, you have to become the answer. The thing will never come to you unless you are ready, unless you are the vessel that can receive it. And this is why I'm telling you right here, Allah knows you've been asking, and that's why you're seeing this. This could literally be the answer to whatever thing that you're making dua for, right here. So that being said, let's begin. So let me show you first of all a few examples of truly what it means when I say Allah responds to who you are and not what you say. So let's look at Prophet Yunus alayhi salam. Prophet Yunus. A lot of people, when I talk about this stuff, they come and tell me, they're like, nah, this makes no sense, bro, because Prophet Yunus is the complete opposite. But let's go deeper into Prophet Yunus alayhi salam. So he was given a mission and he abandoned his people. So because he abandoned his people, he found himself in the belly of the whale, swallowed by 3 darknesses. The first darkness is the darkness of the sea. He was within the darkness of the sea. The second one is the darkness of the belly of the whale. But the third one is the darkness of his own state. So he left, you could say, in a negative state, and he remained in 3 darknesses. One of them is his state. But what does he see? What does Prophet Yunus actually, alayhi salam, say when he's within those 3 darknesses? He says, there is no God but you. Glory be to you. Indeed, I was among the wrongdoers. Understand, I'll be showing you a pattern right here. Every single prophet came to show you what are you supposed to be doing? How do you change your state so you can become aligned with whatever thing that you want? So you can actually get the things that you want that you're asking for from Allah. So him, Prophet Yunus alayhi salam, in this case, he was saying, La ilaha illa anta, subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. There is no God but you, Ya Allah. Glory be to you. Indeed, I was among the wrongdoers. Notice he doesn't even ask Allah to come and save me. He doesn't ask Allah, give me out of the belly of the whale. He only remembers who Allah truly is. He fills his being with the majesty of Allah. That's a form of tasbih. Subhanaka. And then he aligned himself with the oneness of Allah. Tawheed. La ilaha illa anta. So he did tawheed and then he did tasbih. So that's supposed to be changing his entire being. And understand, the Quran is not going to come and give you a statement that doesn't have depth. So the fact that the Prophet Yunus alayhi salam, he said this, it means that he didn't just say it, but he meant it. Otherwise, Allah wouldn't record it, because the Quran gives you the truth as it is. So he meant those things that he said, and the proof would be that he felt these things truly. So nowadays we say these words, but we don't really feel it. You say La ilaha illa anta, but in your heart, you don't really mean there is no God but you. You say there is no God but Allah, but deep down you keep placing your attention on other things. Your worries are overtaking your heart, and as a result, your worries became your God. Worries about what? Worries about the worldly life. Those became your God. So you don't really mean it. But in this case, Prophet Yunus actually meant it. And later, when he said that, he realized, like, I was among the wrongdoers. Like, now that the light came to me, I truly was among the wrongdoers, because he had a state shift, because his state was missing surrender to Allah. So through Tawheed and through Tasbih, he got into a state of surrender. Otherwise, he wouldn't really abandon his mission. So the fact that he abandoned his mission, it showed that he wasn't in a state of surrender. He was in a negative state, and that's why Allah made him go through a test, the belly of the whale, just so that he returns. Understand, bro, every single test that you go through in life is just a way for Allah to call you back to love. Allah is Al-Wadud. And Allah's mercy encompasses everything. So everything in the world is all made by this love. And every test you go through is Allah's calling you back to this love because you've abandoned this love. And only then, that's when Allah saves him. So Prophet Yunus ﷺ, he didn't ask to be saved. He only changed his state to that of surrender through tawheed and through tasbih. And Allah took him out of the darkness because Allah is an-nur, the light. What about Prophet Ayyub ﷺ? So he was extremely ill. His body was broken, his wealth was gone, and his closest people left him except his wife. So he never really screamed to Allah. He never begged Allah. He only says, indeed, adversity has touched me, and you are the most merciful of the merciful. A statement of just pure love. A statement of pure surrender to the most merciful. He doesn't even ask Allah to save him from the adversity that he claims. And what does Allah do? All that Ayyub did was just recognize the mercy of Allah. He realigned himself, which means he changed his whole state. He noticed adversity, some hardship came to me, but Allah is the most merciful. And that's the state that he's in. And once again, imagine truly feeling that Allah is the most merciful. You wouldn't have any hatred towards anything in your heart. You wouldn't even be clinging into this pain and making the pain your identity. Most of us nowadays, we're making the pain our identity. Can you imagine that? You have sickness within you and you make the sickness your identity. So you don't even want the sickness to go away and you keep holding on to it. But what does Allah say? So we responded to him and removed what afflicted him, and we restored his family to him, and the like thereof with them, as a mercy from us and a reminder for the worshippers. Like, why? Ayyub never even asked to be saved, and here Allah just gave him everything back. Everything was given back. Why is that? Well, it's because he realigned himself back with the truth. Truth that Allah is the most merciful. And just through this mere act of surrendering to the most merciful, by changing his state, his life as a result changed. This is very beautiful, man. Another example, by the way, is Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. Yusuf. So when he went to the jail, when you look at the words that he was saying, what was he saying? He's like, I left these people because they weren't, like, they don't believe in Tawheed. And then I follow the religion, the God of my forefathers, Ibrahim, Yaqub, Ishaq. And he just keeps talking about this one being, the oneness of Allah. So he's in jail and he doesn't even recognize the problem. If you were in jail right now, he'd be like, oh my God, I'm in jail, bro. Everything's going bad and blah, blah, blah. But he doesn't even put his attention on the problem. He just keeps his attention fully on Allah. And you know that because when he's talking to the people, he only talks about Allah, which is so beautiful. And as a result, what happened? He became the minister. And this is a pattern that you'll see throughout everything. Prophet Sulaiman, when he had the test that he had, the very first thing that he says, Rabbi ighfirli, Allah forgive me and give me a kingdom that no one else will have except me. So Rabbi ighfirli, he went back to forgiveness. They all have, it's all a similar pattern. It's all going back to Allah through tawheed, through tasbih, through istighfar, through just recognizing the oneness of Allah. It's so beautiful, bro. But now let me show you the opposite right here, because obviously there is the opposite. The opposite is when you look at the Israelites of Musa alayhi salam. They begged for freedom. They cried under Fir'aun's oppression. And Allah sent Musa. He gave him signs. He gave him miracles. He parted the sea. But when the chains of the slavery was removed from Bani Israel, they still carried slavery within them, inside their hearts. They asked to go back. They worshipped a calf. They said they wanted liberation, but their hearts was still kneeling to fear. So Allah withheld the promised land. Because you can't enter divine provision with a scarcity mindset in your being. Allah says, so the promised land was forbidden to them for 40 years in which they will wander throughout the land. They were lost for 40 years because they had fear within them. They didn't go back to the oneness of Allah. All because of their state, Allah's promise, like Allah promised it. Allah's just going to give it to you just like that. But because of their state, Allah delayed it for 40 years. Do you see a pattern right here? It's a beautiful pattern actually, because it shows you, forget about the words. The words are only bridges to help you reach a state of being. The true dua that Allah accepts and responds to is your state. Is your state. So let's be real now. You ask Allah for light, but then you still entertain the same darkness. The porn, the scrolling, the junk food, the Netflix, etc. The same stuff that gives you this temporary pleasure, this temporary comfort, and then at the end you feel so guilty about it. You still text the same person that you begged Allah to remove. You still scroll through the same apps that steal your peace and steal your attention. You still speak to yourself with words that you won't even use on another soul. The kind of words that you describe yourself in your internal monologue, you wouldn't, if someone heard that, you'd feel ashamed. You're like, dang, this is how I talk to myself. You wouldn't even be saying those same things to another person. And then you wonder why the light hasn't really arrived. You ask Allah for more money, for more wealth, but every time something comes, something good comes, you just prepare in case it disappears. You believe any of the blessings that Allah gives you, they never last. You don't move from barakah, you actually plant from fear. You don't say Alhamdulillah with ease, with rest. You say it while you're checking the next thing that you might lose. So even with your gratitude, you say gratitude, but you're just trembling with doubt. You ask Allah for love, but when someone shows you even a drop of sincerity, you start panicking, you start sabotaging. You hide behind jokes. And you call yourself, oh, I'm too much, bro. Or no, I'm not enough, bro. Before anyone else even says those things about you. So how can Allah give you love when you've been building a life around protecting yourself from this love? Shams Tabrizi, he says, don't get lost in your pain. Know that one day your pain will become your cure. But the pain can only cure you when you stop wrapping it in your identity. Hafiz, he says, he's like, you have within you more love than you could ever understand. But you'll never taste it if you keep building a life around who you were in survival. All this time right now, you've been living through these survival emotions, through stress, through guilt, through fear. That's not the state that you're going to be experiencing the love. This state, you have to surrender yourself. These emotions, I'm not saying resist them. I'm not saying kill them. I'm saying surrender them. Surrender these things and understand that's not really the true you. You're feeling guilt. How are you supposed to resolve this guilt? You go back to Allah. You don't wait until the guilt slows down, goes away, and then you go back to Allah, because Allah Himself is the one that removes the guilt. So you have to reach right here a state of surrender, so you can go above the state of survival that you've been living. So now listen carefully. Allah already knows what you want. He knows exactly what's within your heart. He knew before you even said it. But what you are right now, what you live, what you embody when nobody's watching, that's the true dua. That is what's reaching the heavens. So here's the truth right here. Your state, it matters way more than your words. Because Allah responds to the real you, not the version that you perform when you pray. So maybe now, after you've been watching this, maybe now is the time for you to stop trying to sound sincere and actually start becoming sincere. Come back to who you truly, truly are. And what you are is this unchanging, formless being that was there before the fear. It was the one that's aware of the fear. Before the overthinking, it's the one that's aware of the overthinking. Before the self-doubt that you've been having, it's the one that's aware of the self-doubt that you've been having. It's the quiet parts that always knew that Allah was never far. So now, saying all of this, let me make you go through a quick tafakkur session that corresponds to this ayah right here that says, and if you are grateful, I will surely increase you. This will take around 3 minutes, maybe less than that. No pressure, just pure presence. So all I ask of you right now is to sit down, close your eyes. If you're driving, you can just listen, maybe do it after, and let your hands rest in your lap and breathe deeply and gently and follow the words that I'm about to say in your mind. Don't be thinking this is a spiritual act. Don't be thinking this is an ibadah act. This is just something to help you realign. That's all it is. That is all it is. The very first thing, breathe in slowly and breathe out softly. Bring your focus to your heart. So as your eyes are closed right now, take this attention that you have within you and put it all on your heart, on the chest. Your attention is probably actually in your head, but remove it from your head and just place it in your heart. And I want you to feel the heartbeat of your heart. Feel how your body is literally alive right now. There's literally like a heartbeat that keeps moving by itself. It's been doing all of that by itself. No one tells it to beat. No one tells it to stop. It's just been doing everything by itself. Place your attention there. And then now say inside your heart, say, Ya Allah, thank you. Thank you, not for what's coming, but thank you for what already is here. Thank you for this breath that I have, and thank you for this chance that I have right now to truly return. Thank you for the delay that protected you, and thank you for the silence that shaped you, and thank you for the love that you never took away, even when you yourself walked away. Now, I want you to imagine right now as you're doing that, and you should be feeling something, but I want you to imagine yourself. What if the dua that you've been making all along, right now, what if your dua got answered all of a sudden? What if the version of you that you're becoming already has that dua right now? And I want you to imagine that person where the dua is already accepted. Like imagine you have snap a finger and everything is accepted. How does that person feel? How does that person think? And breathe into that version now, not tomorrow. Breathe into that version of yourself right now. And I want you to feel the gratitude that that person is feeling as if the dua has already happened. And I want you to say, Ya Allah, I trust you. I trust your timing. I trust what you're doing inside me. You're Allah after all. You give without measure, and you give not because I'm worthy, but you give because you yourself are generous. You yourself are Al-Kareem. And your generosity is so big, my mind can't even comprehend it. But truly, that's who Allah is. You realize like Allah can just say kun fayakun, which is so beautiful, by the way. Now, if you had deep certainty and you make a dua, you should literally, after the dua is made, walk around as if the dua has been answered. And you're doing that because you asked Allah after all. Shaitan's going to come and tell you, he's going to be like, no, but now you're just tricking yourself. But are you really tricking yourself? What's Iman? Iman is belief in the unseen. So now you believe that Allah has the capability of doing this, kun fayakun. So now why are you worried about, but it's not going to happen because of this and that. No, but it's not going to happen because of this and that. Oftentimes you think, I can't make $1 million a day because I've never done it. I don't have the skills. I don't have this. I don't have that. I can't get that house because my credit, because this, because that. When in reality, do you really think Allah cares about all of that? Allah can just do this and it becomes. So now forget about all the hows and just imagine yourself like your dua has been accepted, and then breathe from that state and say to Allah, thank you, because Allah can do anything. And understand, gratitude is supposed to come before the thing comes, not after. It's supposed to come before, because gratitude is the foundation for the thing to land on, because gratitude is the signature for receiving. Now, after you've went through all of that, one more deep breath. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And just smile. Literally smile, even if it's a small smile. Even if you're forcing it, smile. Smile because you remembered Allah never actually left you. Allah's never ever left you. And that should be the biggest reason why you smile. Wherever you are. Wherever you are. It doesn't matter where you are. Allah's never left you. And that should be the biggest reason why you should smile. Now open your eyes when you're finally ready. Welcome back, Habibi. Once again, Allah knows you've been asking. This is why, I guess, Allah placed the inspiration within me so I can make such a video, so I can deliver it to you, and as a result, so you can do this little session right here where you can truly feel the gratitude. And as a result, because now you're feeling a state of gratitude, Allah is going to be increasing you, inshallah. So if this was helpful, let me know.